welcome back to another episode of Grassroots Racer. I'm excited that I'm finally speaking to a racer on two wheels this week, Liam Andrews, who so far has had a very successful junior career, and he also comes from my hometown, Bendigo. So hi Liam, and how are you tonight?
Hey, good, thanks.
So you started your racing career in motocross in 2010 at 7 years old. So how did you get into the category of motorsport?
When I was younger, I played a little bit of footy, and I've actually been riding since I was about 4. But the youngest age you can start racing at 7, so I had to wait a bit. But yeah, well, it's the sport that my dad did when I was younger. And I just asked him one day, I said, "Oh, what sport did you do?" He said, "Oh, I raced motocross." And I said, "Oh, I want to give that a go." So then shortly after that, I did my first race, did well in it, and just kept going from there.
You didn't do just well, mate. I was looking at all of your records from that year, and there was lots of wins on there. So you could have almost said that you were basically undefeated for the next 2 years. So why do you think you were so successful?
Yeah, don't want to sound cocky, but I guess a lot of it just comes down to natural skill. Like my dad used to race, my granddad used to ride. Just runs in the family, I guess, and also a lot of hard work as well. So
yeah, that's definitely a part of it, hard work. And were you on the bike before you actually started racing?
Yeah, I rode for about 3 years before I did my first race, as I said, because of the age group. But yeah, I was pretty much riding every night after school there for a long time. So.
And what classes have you raced in?
Well, the first class you can race in is the 50cc class, which is a fully auto bike. And then you move up to 65s, which is manual with a clutch. And then 85 manual with clutch, 125, and then 254 stroke. And I am eligible to race a 450 at the moment, but I'm going to stick with the 250 for a little bit longer and then maybe make the step up.
And do you have a favourite bike currently?
Oh, probably the one I'm on now, which is a 2021 YZ250F.
And how fast would you be getting over the jumps and stuff?
I think I wear a Garmin when I ride, and usually I average about 60k an hour around a track, which obviously some jumps I'm probably hitting at about 90k an hour, 100k an hour almost sometimes.
It's pretty quick. In my little carts, we would be lucky if we got up to 60 kilometers an hour. So that's really, really quick. But what do you think is the most challenging thing about motocross?
Well, it's really physical. You have to be really fit to do it. And the track is always changing. Every lap you come around, the track's different. So it's just about being able to read the track really fast and also not get as tired, and then still be able to ride properly when you're tired.
When I've watched them out there before, they seem to make a lot of marks in the ground. So riding over the top of them, would they be helpful for the bike, or would it make the traction worse?
Well, it depends. When it's really wet, obviously the traction's going to be down. But if the track's prepped good, it'll form up ruts, which is almost like a slot car track. Once you're into them, you can really go through the turns fast. But then they can also be tricky because you've got to balance yourself. If you get a little bit off balance in a rut, it's really easy to crash.
And another thing, you say it's really easy to crash. And how would you make a move on someone? Is it really risky to try and pass someone?
It depends. If the track's just say what you call one line, so if you just say if someone's going inside line, it can be pretty tricky to pass. But if the track's got plenty of line choices, you can just say if they go to the inside, you can go to the outside and make a move around the outside of them. Or if they make a little mistake, you can just quickly jump up the inside of them there or something. So it all depends on the track, really, how hard or how easy it is to pass.
I was having a look at your stats. You've raced a lot of places. So whereabouts have you raced, and have you been overseas at all?
I've raced in every state and territory in Australia a couple times now. I've only been to WA once to race and only been to Tasmania once to race, but every other state I've been to multiple times. In 2014, I went to Belgium to race the world titles with, well, he's a superstar now. His name's Jett Lawrence. He just won the AMA American motocross title. So that was a really cool experience. And then in 2017, I also went to America, but that didn't end too well. We rented a bike over there and the bike actually stopped in the air. So it cut out and then I landed, crashed and broke a few bones, but oh well.
So let's just quickly rewind back to Belgium and then we'll talk about America. So can you give us like a bit of a full detail of what happened in Belgium?
So yeah, it was pretty cool being selected to go represent Australia. There was only 2 riders in our class that got selected and I was lucky enough to be one of them. And so yeah, we flew over to Belgium, rode a few practice tracks over there. I felt really good. And then we got to the race and my bike had been having this issue where the power valve locks on. And when that locks on, your bike just loses like nearly all of its power. So that's what happened in the first race, which I was like pretty gutted because in the morning warm-up, I was actually 9th fastest out of everyone in the world in my age group. And then in the second race, I got a pretty crappy start. And I think I got to about 10th after about half a lap. And then I got together with another rider and then I lost my front brake for the rest of the moto.
It sounds like every time you've been over the seas, you haven't had the best of luck. Did you have any good moments in America though?
I did. I only honestly did about 10 laps in America before my bike stuffed up. But I was actually really close to a lot of the fast guys over there. Like a lot of people that I looked up to, I actually wasn't that far off. So I was pretty happy with that. But then, yeah, obviously not long after, my bike stuffed up and, yeah, ended up making a hospital trip over there.
You have been pretty successful so far. So what have been some of your most memorable wins?
For sure, in 2011, I won my Australian title against that guy who I said's a superstar now. So that's pretty cool to look back on. And then 2013, I got second at the Aussie titles to that same guy, which I could have won, but just didn't go my way. And then 2014, I got second again in the Aussie titles, which was pretty cool. Then had a few more seconds, podiums. And then 2018, I won the Vic titles again in the 125 and 250 class. So that was pretty cool, winning them both. And then 2018, I could have won the Aussie titles there as well. That was in Tasmania. But unfortunately, in the third race, which I was winning, I hit a really slick spot on the bottom of an up ramp. And yeah, just got real weird in the air and ended up breaking my leg. So...
Yeah, and that proves my point about the question I was just about to ask you. People always say to me or my mum especially, like, oh, isn't car/kart racing really dangerous? But I think you have to be pretty brave to race bikes. And it says here, have you crashed or broken anything? But, you know, that would have to be a really bad injury.
Yeah, well, obviously it's just like any sport. You can get hurt in any sport. But, yeah, racing, especially when you're at a high level, it's like just the littlest thing can happen and it can be like massive. So just say my last injury, I broke my foot. I was doing a practice start, so going in a straight line, and I hit a rock or something because it was really dusty and I couldn't see. And I went straight over the bars. I didn't even land on my foot. I don't even know how I did it, but yeah, broke my foot and then that was a 3-month injury. But yeah, it can all happen so quickly when you're racing and going that pace, even in go-karts and that, so.
Yeah, that's very true. But whenever someone says to me, you know, like, oh, your sport would have to be crazy, I say, look at motocross and MotoGP. I cannot believe how you guys ride on 2 wheels and you just get so close to the ground sometimes. It's insane. But what do you ultimately want to achieve in the sport? Have you got any goals?
Yeah, I've got plenty of goals. I would love to be able to go overseas and race either to America or Europe again and have a proper go, like get on a good bike and actually do some racing over there. So be my dream to go over there and even just to ride and race. Don't even really care about results, but just be an awesome experience, I reckon.
pretty true. And every sportsman has around them people who are very supportive of being great mentors. Do you have anyone that's helped you in the background? Any certain person?
There's too many to name, but obviously my parents have been a huge help. So without them, I obviously wouldn't be where I am today. So yeah, I'm going to thank anyone. It's going to be them for sure. They've done everything for me. So
there's a lot of people I bet that helped you out there. And you, like you told me before, you have to be pretty fit to do what you do. So, there have to be some sort of physical training. Do you have any current sponsors that are currently supporting your racing?
I'm sponsored by the WBR Yamaha race team, and they've got, I'll try and name as many as I can. They've got Bulk Nutrients, Scott, Maxima, Dunlop Tyres, Alpine Star, and then there's a lot more. I just can't think of them, but a personal sponsor I've got is Tribe Yoga Boxing. That's my off-bike training. And yeah, he's been awesome. I train with him nearly every night during the season. And then I've got a few other personal sponsors as well, but yeah, too many to name. Like you need the support in this sport because it's so, what do you say, it's really expensive, and yeah, if you don't have the right support, you won't be able to perform on race day. So
yeah, and we all got to appreciate our supporters out there. So basically, Liam's saying thank you, and I also really appreciate all of my sponsors as well. Do you have any social media platforms where people can find you and keep following your progress?
Yeah, I've got an Instagram page called 𝘎𝘬𝘢𝘴𝘳𝘢𝘴, and then I've also got a Facebook page called Liam Andrews. So if you want to keep up to date with my racing, go give them a like and a follow.
That's for sure. So thanks so much for speaking to me tonight, Liam. It's been great hearing about your achievements, and I hope we'll see you out there winning again and smashing your goals, back in Europe or America. I've actually really enjoyed finding out more about motocross tonight because, I race on 4-wheels, so I'm not 100% sure what it's like in your categories. But whether you're racing on 2 or 4 wheels, just remember, always drive fast and take chances, everyone.
Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Nah, straight back at you, mate. It's great having our first 2-wheel racer on here.
No worries. Glad to be the first.